What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of H&M at the Movies. I'm your host H, and with me is
Big Mike from Big Mike's Real Reviews.
this week we're not going to talk about movies, but as you can see from all the gold behind me, we're going to talk about the Oscars. And to get two parts out the way, one, Conan O'Brien did a very good job hosting. No surprise here. He was neither too corny or over the top. He was like right in the middle.
Yeah, he was Conan. I like Conan. I like his little skits and stuff. Like Conan was Conan. He was fine.
Yeah. But the big thing was when they said, well, we're going to try to get you out here on time. We're going to like, because every other year that I do decide to stay up for the Oscars and everything, it's like about 11:30 midnight before that joint wraps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever. This year, this joint ended at 10:47 p.m. I'm sitting there like, okay, yo, like y'all got 12 minutes left. How y'all got 12 minutes left?
Yeah.
What the advertiser's going to do with all that?
Now, I will be completely honest. I usually don't watch the full Oscars. I will catch highlights like the next day online, YouTube, whatever, and just, Google read up on everything.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the old guy in me now. It's like, I will actually sit and watch them and everything because years past and everything, if it was like a movie or two I was interested in, I would watch long enough to see what they win,
right?
Just turn back and forth. But like lately, I'm watching the whole thing. I don't know. And like you, because we just talked about it before we started recording, there weren't that many movies that were nominated that I saw.
So, like we discussed before, I think pretty much every movie that won most of the like biggest, awards.
Yeah.
I ain't seen them.
Because Anora was completely off my radar until Sunday.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing,
I had heard of it.
Yeah.
I will at least say I had heard of it.
Yeah. But the funniest thing was how there were jokes the whole night about never, a lot of people saying, never did I think I would come to the Oscars and hear sex worker mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah.
So they were clowning. They were clowning. And we're not even going to talk about the Kendrick Lamar Drake joke that Conan made.
You know what I do want to mention though?
What?
Why he make Adam Sandler leave though?
That was funny.
That was funny.
I think that was a setup, but that was funny.
But Adam Sandler was like, hey, y'all gonna make fun of me like I'm just gonna be out because I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, I think that was a setup though, because that was good comic relief right at the beginning.
It was.
Yeah.
But he did roll out though.
Oh, he rolled out?
Yeah, he rolled out.
I thought he was gonna roll out, maybe put on a suit and come back, but he bounced.
No, he left. He was like, I'm gonna be me. He was like, and y'all wanna make jokes about whatever? He was like, I'm out. And he left.
Oh. Well,
which I feel he was a little too thin-skinned on that one. I was like, come on, bro. You going to the Oscars and you're wearing basketball shorts and a hoodie. You can't. If someone clown you for that, you can't be like, oh, I can do whatever I want. Come on, bro. Everybody else is dressed to the T. Everybody else.
You know better, bro. You've been around long enough. You know better.
Exactly.
So, you know what? And we could go probably as far as saying that was probably Adam Sandler's way of staying relevant. Because
I would agree there.
Because what has he done lately? Not much.
Yeah,
he hasn't done anything. Just not much of note. So, if it's a good way to kind of keep your name out there, So, yeah. But the one other thing you and I did pick up, and we had two slightly different ways of looking at it. On one hand, while there were like a lot of diverse nominees out there, the nominees still skewed mostly white, mostly male.
Yes.
However, one of the things I was picking up on, like a lot of those awards, people were coming up, and I'm like, oh, y'all not from here.
Yeah, because I think you mentioned something about that before. We came on about
Oscar so
it took them a while to actually get on.
Yeah,
and why that was.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So it's. I mean, granted, I was happy to see that, you know, we had what was his name? Paul Tazwell, I think it was, won for best costume design. So he's the first black man to win and second black person to win. Second to Ruth Carter.
Right.
So
what was that for Black Panther, right?
No. Well, Ruth Carter won for Black Panther.
Yeah.
He won for Wicked. Paul Tazwell, yeah.
Yes.
And the bigger part of that too, for anybody that caught one of the early parts of the show, Bowen Yang came out in one of the costumes. Matter of fact, I think he did it at the same time. Yeah, he did. They did it at the same time as they were presenting the nominees.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool that not only did he win, but one of his creations was right there on stage.
Yeah, that is cool.
So that was cool. So that actually brings me to another point as well, is that while Wicked got a lot of nominations, they didn't win a lot.
No.
They didn't win a lot.
It makes you wonder.
Well, the theory that I heard is, and I'm going to tell you why it's bullcrap in a second. Mm-hmm. The theory that I heard is that, well, Wicked Part 2 is coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe people want to see that and make sure that it is what it is before they really start throwing awards at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, mention what you mentioned before
I was going to say it's a small problem, though.
There you go.
There was another set of movies that was a trilogy that came out in the early 2000s. Something about some guys going on a trip to get rid of this ring.
Mm-hmm. To Mordor,
yeah. And the second movie cleaned up.
Yeah.
Because
they ain't wait for that to end.
The Fellowship of the Ring, I can't remember whether or not they won any Oscars. And if they did, it was probably best visual effect or something like that. If they won anything, they probably went for that. But I can tell you this: Two Towers,
yeah, cleaned up.
Home. They won damn near everything.
But
and
maybe I'm different, but actually, I think
Return of the King.
Return of the King was my favorite.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like Two Towers as, you know, the best. I like Return of the King the best.
Okay. I mean, I ain't gonna knock anybody for that. I like them all, but yeah, I kind of feel like I was one of those that loved Two Towers. God only knows what reason. But all the same, it's like that's why that theory doesn't wash with me, because I'm like, the Lord of the Rings franchise cleaned up.
Yep.
So if you really thought that Wicked was deserving, why not?
Yep.
So I'm not feeling that theory right now.
Not me either.
I'm not feeling
some underlying reasons why.
Yeah. But like I said, you know, they got a couple of little wins here and there and stuff, but
not the major ones though. It was like, oh, we'll throw you a bone.
Yeah. And I never did see The Brutalist. The Brutalist was on my list of things to see, but I never watched it.
I didn't see it either. Like I said, most of the Oscar winners this year, I did not see.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I was not surprised that Cynthia Erivo did not win. I was not surprised. And I mean, if we want to go to the whole politics of it all, you know, she's very divisive.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. So yeah, she's gonna, because if I remember correctly, if she manages to get an Oscar, she'll be an EGOT winner, right? I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So it gonna be a minute.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It gonna be a minute. What are some of the other highlights you picked up on that you wanted to mention?
I mentioned the Adam Sandler thing.
Yeah.
To me, I just felt like it was. To me, it felt like previous Oscars, where a lot of diversity did not get recognized, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, that could just be me being cynical. I mean, like I said, I didn't really watch it. Right. I watched highlights and, you know, clips. So I may have missed some things, but.
Yeah. But put it this way, we're not even going to get into the whole Zoe Saldana thing. That we just gonna.
Yep, I'm not even giving that any.
Yeah, we're not going to get that air.
Nope.
But you know, I got a question though. I got a question, and this I'm going on another totally different tale on this one.
Okay.
So animated feature. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Wild Robot was like the shoe-in.
Right. Hold that thought 1 second though. I'm still trying to figure how many Wallace and Gromit movies do they make, because I swear to beans, to see like every year I watch the Oscars, they get nominated.
You know what? You're right, but like I haven't watched Wallace and Gromit since like the late 90s.
Right.
And I know they have made one since, but like that's probably the last time I watched.
No, I'm saying they're. I feel like they're constantly coming out, because it seems like when I see like nominations for best animated movie, I'm like, why isn't Gromit? How come I didn't hear of this?
Right. Maybe it's just in the UK. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and I thought the same thing about the Wild Robot, but you know what? Because we watched it last night. We went to go. Well, it's a whole other story. We saw Flow, because Flow is on Max. I want to say it's on Max.
Okay.
Give it a watch. Give it a watch. And you know what it's like? After I watched this, I understand. Very good animation. Very good story, and it's visual. It's one of those you have to watch, because there are no human elements to this story.
Okay.
So the story is told through all the animals that are presented. You know, it's you know about being scared, making friends. You know, the fear of the unknown. There's so many emotions that this movie captures.
Okay.
And it's very well told without any voice actors at all.
Wow.
So after I watched it,
kind of like WALL-E.
Yeah.
Yeah, because WALL-E had very, very little dialogue.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, because it's one of those. What was funny was at certain points I'm just adding my own dialogue just because I'm an ass. But it hit so many feels by the time it was done, and I ain't going front. It actually kind of hit more feels than Wild Robot did. But Wild Robot also was a very good movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's kind of the thing when I watch the Oscars. I've learned to not get my hopes up, because it seems like stuff that should be like an easy win, the shoe in, and all that stuff. No.
Yeah.
No.
I say the last time I really felt like it was well-deserved, knocked out the park.
Yeah.
Was the original Spider-Verse for animated film.
Yeah.
That one was like, there was no way you could not give that film the Oscar for best animated feature.
Right. And
it was that groundbreaking.
And in many ways, to me, it's still better than the second one. I mean, I love the second one.
Yeah.
But I still feel like the art, because it was unique.
I do. I still like the first one better than the second. Not saying that the second one wasn't good, but I still like the first one better.
Right.
I just wish they would just hurry up and finish it. But I know why. But I could do a whole video on why that's not going on right now. I've researched this for a while, and I won't even get into it. It's a long story.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad one thing didn't win a lot of awards, because I don't really like it all that much. Dune.
Okay.
I'm that dude. I'm sorry. I'm contrarian like that. But go ahead.
So I agree and disagree. I don't think Dune should have won like all these Oscars or whatever. But I also really like the Dune movies. That's me. Now, I will, like I said, admittedly say, okay, hold on. What did it win? It won for like
visual effects.
Visual effects, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll find it. But go ahead, continue your point.
I think it won for visual effects.
I will tell you in a second.
Pretty sure that's what it was. But
it won for sound.
Oh, for sound. Okay.
Right.
I thought it was also.
No, you're right. You're right. It won for sound, and it did win for visual effects.
Right. But I am one of those people who really like the Dune movies. I really do. I think they're done really well.
Yeah. I will say this though, because and this is probably one of the reasons why I don't like it, because Dune is such a dense story.
Yeah.
With the technology that we have now, you can properly tell these stories.
Yeah.
Because I've tried watching the other two versions, they don't hold up all that.
But here's the thing though, but I feel like you can't go too far beyond the original stories either, because it gets so weird that you can't do it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's already a deep and muddy story.
Yeah.
Already deep and muddy. But now you got the visual effects and the know-how to do it. So yeah, like I said, I respect it on that point. Yeah. It's just one of those things. Like I've tried. Well, I've watched them both, but I can't say that it's one of those things that grabs me.
Okay, I mean I enjoy them, but yeah.
But
I know a lot of the story too, but I'm still like, yeah, they got to kind of stop here, because there's like, when you get to the point where Atreides' son becomes like a sandworm / like humanoid like I'm like, you lost me. You lost me. So they can't go that far,
right?
They have to, if they're going to do like one more, they can do one more and stop.
Well, they're supposed to do one more, I believe, because I think this is supposed to be a trilogy anyway.
Right. But after that, they need to stop, because the rest of the storylines they have is just dense. It was like, yo, you must have been on acid when you wrote this. Like, for real.
That's why they've been so hard for me to get into, because like if you I tell people all the time, if you think Game of Thrones got a lot going on, Dune originated that crap.
Yeah. But to the nth degree.
Yeah. So, all right. So I got a couple more points. So, and one other thing, I was kind of sad that Nosferatu didn't win anything.
Yeah, me too.
I was kind of bummed by that.
Yeah, I was too. I really, Nosferatu to me was one of my favorite films of last year. 2024.
I'm trying to think of what it was nominated for, because it was nominated for something I thought for sure. Production design.
Yeah.
That I thought,
because it definitely, like, they took a lot of care to make sure it was very accurate to the times.
Production design, makeup and hairstyling, and because they lost to The Substance, which I still got to watch The Substance.
Okay.
But like those two categories, I thought at least they would have got something. I was like,
yeah, they should have won something, I think.
Yeah. And I was kind of stunned by that. But the one thing that really just blew my entire mind, because you know what, I want to say and hope that maybe it was the alcohol talking. But when you think it's only 4 or 5 o'clock out there, like, oh, he must have been drunk early. Kieran Culkin's speech when he was.
How did we forget that?
Oh, I didn't forget it. I just kept it towards the bottom of the list. But
that was probably the single most cringe. I will say, like, it wasn't even an interview. I mean, I know it was an acceptance speech, but what I would say of like any celebrity giving any type of like story or whatever, that was the most cringe of anything I've ever seen.
Right. It's like, and for people that don't understand the context, do YouTube search, watch the whole thing. But to give a general overview, during his acceptance speech, he tells a story about how he and his wife made a bet that if he won an Oscar, she would have his 4th kid.
Yeah.
And I say it like that because that's how he just kind of flippantly talked about his children. Like, well, yeah, we was talking about the kid, and I won a 4th kid, and the kid, and I won, and I won the bet, honey. So let's get to work on that kid. And I'm like,
right. It's like, oh, she said if I did this, I get this baby, and then
no, I get this kid.
Right, but still, it's the same thing. It's like, so she's saying if you get an accolade, then she'll
give you
conceive a child for you. How fucking insane is that? And even if like you just have this conversation with your significant other and it's fine in your context within your own home, why are you telling everybody?
Leave it there.
Exactly.
Leave it there.
Why are you telling the world about completely?
Honestly, it would be embarrassing enough to do this at a dinner party where you got a couple of your friends.
Yes, and family, even friends and family, it would be like, yo, that's TMI. But to the world.
No.
Well, I got an Oscar. It's time for you to give me another baby. Like,
girl, give me them kids. And I'm like,
and they kept cutting to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's so true." And I'm like, "Yo, like, what is wrong with y'all?"
Blink twice if you're not okay. I felt sorry for that one.
That was one of the weirdest, cringiest things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. I was like, "Is this real?"
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is this okay? Is she okay?
Yeah. Lady, are you okay? Lady, are you okay? Are you okay?
Scary.
Yeah. And then there was a big discussion about whether or not Demi Moore did she get robbed of the Oscar, which I still gotta give The Substance a watch. Actually, I got to give both of those movies a watch before I can.
So I will say this. No, the Demi Moore one, was it The Substance? What was it called? That was Substance, right?
It was The Substance. She was in The Substance.
So that one, that's the thing. That one I did see. The other one that won, what was it called?
Anora.
Anora, I did not see. Substance, right. I did see. So I can't honestly say this one deserved it over this one. But I did see The Substance, and Demi Moore killed it.
Yeah.
That movie was like, it was also really weird.
Yeah.
But I tend to like a lot of like sci-fi stuff.
And that's kind of why I want to watch it. Because that was on my list of things to watch, and I just never got to it. And
because at a point it was almost like, because at first you kind of felt like, oh, when she takes it, right, and she becomes young as kind of the same person. But as it went on and they kept going back and forth, it was almost like they were, of course, completely separate, but actually like sabotaging each other.
And the funny thing is this, what I got from the trailer is this is commentary on what's going on today.
Okay.
And just even as a sidebar, what's kind of funny is I have a client that wants to work with me, and I'm trying to figure out a good way to tell her no, because I've seen what she's done with other photos, and almost every photo I've seen this person put online, she's always using filters. It's like she's just not happy with herself.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a while, but then, now that I think about this again, I was like, yeah, these are the people I don't like working with, because this is what's happening now. Is there's so many things going on with cosmetics and what we're doing to ourselves, and we're trying to do these things to make ourselves younger. Funniest thing was, we were watching television this evening. There's a company out there making these cheap helmets where you put the helmets on your head and it's supposed to stimulate your scalp and make your hair grow back.
Yeah, the little red light things, right?
Yeah. And the funny part was, at one
point, not new though. That's actually kind of old.
Right. But the thing of it is the ridiculous kinds of things that we take that's old and then we recycle them again. But it's funny too, because now you see because a lot of that stuff used to be aimed at a particular population. Right. Now they're aiming all that stuff at both, because both the guy and the girl sitting up there trying to grow their hair back.
Yeah.
I was like, oof. But again, Anora was cleaning up. And from what I could see, that's why I said I wasn't too surprised that, that Mickey Madison won the award, because it's like they're cleaning up and everything else. And once I started seeing a pattern, like anything that Anora was nominated in, they were winning. Like, Best Picture is going to be tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, at the rate they're going, if Nora doesn't win Best Picture, we might have a small problem.
Yep.
So yeah, so I'm not surprised by that. But like I said, that's one that's definitely on the list of things to see. But you know, again, like you said, this was. I'm not going to necessarily say it was an off year. It wasn't what it was with Barbie and Oppenheimer.
No, I felt like this Oscars was kind of like, for lack of a better term, lackluster.
Yeah, and you know what? I felt like it seemed like a couple of years ago too. They were doing awards, not necessarily Oscars, but they were doing awards for movies that weren't Oscar worthy but were popular.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened to that? At least acknowledge some of the stuff out there that, you know, the average person will go see.
Right.
Well, who knows? But we're going to wrap it here. And we got some stuff that's coming down the pipe. And I know one of the things I definitely want to go see is Novocaine.
Yes.
Because that looks like it's going to be some good, dumb fun. And I can't wait to see how that rolls.
And I'm excited for Mickey 17.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch the trailer of that. Because like I said, it wasn't until I saw the movie poster again, I said, okay, I remember that because I did see one trailer and I was like, yeah, I think that's going to be on my list.
Yeah, too. It's from the same it's from the same person who did Parasite.
Got it. So until next time, y'all, we're going to be out. We'll catch you later.
Next time.